Become the mentally toughest version of yourself. Most people in this world are soft. They break under pressure. They make excuses. They back down when life slaps them in the face, but not you. You're here because you want to be different. You want to be unbreakable. You want to be the kind of person who stands tall when everyone else crumbles. Let me tell you something, mental toughness isn't given. It's earned. It's earned in the darkness when no one is watching. It's earned when you choose to keep going, even when everything inside. Callous your mind. Pain is the entry fee to greatness. Most people run from it. They hide from struggle, avoid discomfort, and live their entire lives inside a bubble of safety. But safety breeds weakness. Comfort is a silent killer of potential. If you want to be mentally tough, you have to callous your mind like you would your hands. You ever see a laborer's hands, scarred, thick, beat up from years of grinding? Those hands don't feel pain the way soft hands do. They've been through the fire, and now they're built for war. Your mind works the same way. The more you expose it to hardship, the tougher it gets. But most people, the second life gets hard, they fold. They tap out. They make excuses. It's too much. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. That's a weak mind talking. And a weak mind will sabotage your entire life. So how do you callous your mind? You seek out suffering. You run toward the pain, not away from it. You put yourself in situations that force you to grow. That means waking up when you don't want to. That means working out when you're sore. That means showing up when every fiber of your body is screaming for you to quit. Because here's the truth. Every time you push through suffering, every time you override that weak voice in your head, you're in another layer of callous. And the more callous your mind becomes, the harder it is to break. Most people will never do this. They will stay soft. They will settle. They will let life dictate their limits instead of shattering them. But you have a choice. You can decide right now that you are done being soft, that you are done running from pain, that from this day forward, you will embrace the suffering, chase the struggle, and forge a mind that can't be broken. Master your inner dialogue. The most dangerous enemy you'll ever face is the one living in your own head. That voice, that weak, soft, pathetic voice that whispers excuses, that tells you to quit, that convinces you you're not good enough. That voice is a liar. And if you don't learn to master it, it will own you. Most people don't even realize they're in a war. They listen to that voice like it's their best friend. It tells them stay in bed. Take it easy. You worked hard yesterday. And they obey. It tells them you're not strong enough. You're not fast enough. You'll never make it. And they believe it. They let that voice dictate their actions, their choices, their entire lives. And that's why they stay weak. You have to flip the script. You have to take control of that voice and turn it into your greatest weapon. That voice works for you, not the other way around. And the only way to do that is through repetition, discipline, and self-imposed suffering. You rewire that voice by making it listen to you. When it tells you to quit, you push harder. When it tells you you're not good enough, you prove it wrong. When it tells you to slow down, you speed the hell up. Every single time you override that weak voice, you weaken its control. You take back power. You remind yourself who the hell you are. Because here's the truth. That inner voice isn't going anywhere. You can't silence it completely, but you can train it. You can mold it. You can turn it from your greatest enemy into your greatest ally. But that only happens when you stop listening to its bullshit and start forcing it to listen to you. The moment you do that, everything changes. Your limits expand. Your confidence skyrockets. You stop second guessing yourself and start dominating everything in your path. Because when you master your inner dialogue, nothing can break you. Stay in the fight. In the fight. Life is a dogfight. It's bloody. It's brutal. And it doesn't give a damn about how you feel. The moment you think you've got it all figured out, life will punch you square in the mouth. And when that happens, you have two choices: lay down and quit like everybody else, or stand up, wipe the blood off your face, and keep swinging. Most people don't stay in the fight. The second things get hard, they start looking for a way out. They want shortcuts. They want the easy road. They want to be successful, but they don't want the suffering that comes with it. They want to be great, but they're not willing to take the hits. So when life puts them on the ropes, they crumble. That can't be you. If you want to be mentally tough, you have to develop an unyielding refusal to quit. You have to be the kind of person who gets knocked down 10 times but gets up 11. You have to be so relentless that life itself gets tired of throwing punches at you. Staying in the fight means embracing the pain. It means understanding that the struggle is the price of admission for greatness. When you feel like you've given everything, when your body is screaming for you to stop, when your mind is begging for a way out, that's the exact moment you have to dig deep and find another gear. Because here's the truth. The real fight doesn't start when you're fresh and full of energy. The real fight begins when you're exhausted, broken, and hanging on by a thread. That's when most people give up. But that's where the great ones are made. You have to train yourself to love that moment, love the exhaustion, love the doubt, love the suffering, because every time you push through it, you become something most people will never be. Unbreakable. Build an unbreakable work ethic. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to be great. But when it's time to put in the work, they disappear. They talk about their goals. They fantasize about winning. But the second requires sacrifice, early mornings, late nights, sweat, blood, and suffering, they fold like a cheap tent. You want to be mentally tough? You want to separate yourself from the weak? You outwork everyone. Period. Most people look for an easy way. They want a shortcut, a hack, some magic formula that lets them succeed without suffering. That's why they stay average, because there is no shortcut. There is no easy way. There's only the grind, the hours no one sees, the days you show up when you don't feel like it, the nights you keep pushing when your body and mind are screaming at you to stop. A true work ethic isn't about working hard when it's convenient. It's about working hard when no one is watching. It's about waking up before the sun, putting in the hours, and never making excuses. It's about doing the things that others refuse to do. Not once, not twice, but every damn day. And here's what separates the mentally tough from everybody else. They don't wait for motivation. Motivation is weak. It fades. It's there one day and gone the next. You think champions wake up motivated every day? Hell no. They wake up disciplined. They show up whether they feel like it or not, because they understand that consistency is the difference between winning and losing. When you build an unbreakable work ethic, you become dangerous. You become the kind of person who never stops, never slows down, and never backs off. People will look at you and wonder how the hell you keep going. And the answer, because you built yourself different. Because you put in the work when no one else would. Seek the uncomfortable. Most people spend their whole damn lives avoiding discomfort. They want the perfect temperature, the softest couch, the easiest route. They tiptoe through life, never wanting to feel pain, never wanting to struggle. And that's why they stay weak. You want to be different? You want to be great? Then you have to do the exact opposite. You have to seek out discomfort like a heat-seeking missile. You have to chase the things that make other people quit, because growth doesn't live in comfort. Strength isn't built in relaxation. The only way to get tougher, stronger, and sharper is to put yourself through hell on purpose. You ever notice how people avoid the cold? They bundle up, stay inside, crank the heat. That's weakness talking. You ever see people skipping workouts because they're too tired? Weakness. You ever hear someone say, "That's too hard, I can never do that"? That's the voice of someone who's already lost. You have to rewire your mind. You have to start loving the things that make others uncomfortable. That means waking up early when you don't want to. That means putting yourself in difficult situations and thriving in them. That means choosing the hard road every damn time. Because here's the truth. Life will test you whether you like it or not. One day, something is going to punch you in the mouth. Pain, failure, loss, hardship. And if you've spent your whole life avoiding discomfort, you won't be ready. You'll break. But if you've trained yourself to embrace suffering, if you've conditioned your mind to handle adversity, nothing will shake you. Most people run from discomfort. You need to run toward it, because every time you do something that sucks, every time you step into the fire, you get stronger. You get tougher. You become the kind of person who can handle anything. The valid emotional control. Your emotions are like wild animals. If you don't tame them, they will run your life. Most people, they let their emotions own them. They wake up feeling tired, so they hit snooze. They feel frustrated, so they lash out. They feel like quitting, so they quit. Weak. They're a damn slave to every impulse, every fleeting emotion, every tiny inconvenience that throws them off their game. You want to be mentally tough? You have to learn to control your emotions, or they will control you. Understand this, your feelings don't matter. What matters is what you do despite how you feel. Champions, warriors, the toughest people in the world, they don't let emotions dictate their actions. They feel the same fear, doubt, and frustration that everyone else does, but they don't fold under it. They master it. They use it as fuel. That means when you're pissed off, when life hits you in the mouth, when nothing is going your way, you don't react like a victim. You stay locked in. You stay focused. You don't make excuses. You don't whine. You don't complain. You execute. Most people break under stress because they let their emotions drive their decisions. They let frustration stop them. They let fear paralyze them. But the toughest people, they operate above emotion. They do what needs to be done no matter what's going on inside their head. Emotional control is what separates the great from the average. It's what allows you to push when every fiber of your body is screaming for you to stop. It's what keeps you disciplined when motivation fades. It's what makes you unshakable in the face of chaos. Because here's the truth. Life doesn't care how you feel. It's going to keep coming. The pain, the struggle, the setbacks, they don't stop for anyone. And if you don't learn to control yourself, you'll crumble under pressure just like everyone else. But if you master your emotions, if you learn to keep your head, to stay calm under fire, to never let feelings dictate your actions, then you become unstoppable. Earn your toughness daily. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's not something you wake up one day and magically have. It's earned. And not once, not twice, but every damn day. Most people think toughness is about having a moment of greatness. They think it's about showing up once, pushing through one hard thing, and then they're set for life. That's why they stay soft, because toughness isn't built in a single moment. It's built in the daily grind, in the choices you make when nobody is watching. You don't wake up tough. You wake up with a choice. Are you going to do the hard things that make you stronger, or are you going to take the easy way out? Are you going to push yourself past your limits, or are you going to sit back and make excuses? Toughness is forged in the small moments. When the alarm clock goes off and your body screams to stay in bed, do you get up or do you hit snooze? When you're exhausted, sore, and broken, do you push through or do you back off? When life throws setbacks, pain, and failure your way, do you keep going or do you quit like everybody else? Every day is a test, and toughness is about showing up and passing that test over and over again. You don't just prove yourself once, you prove yourself daily. Some days that test is physical, some days it's mental, some days it's emotional, but it's always there waiting for you. And the second you stop earning it, you start getting weaker. That's why most people fall off. They build a little toughness, then they get comfortable. They start thinking they've made it. Then life comes swinging and they get knocked the hell out. You have to wake up every day hungry. You have to remind yourself that toughness is never owed to you. It's something you have to fight for. You have to step into the fire, put yourself through hell, and prove to yourself every single day that you are unbreakable. Become unbreakable. At the end of the day, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you toughness. Nobody's going to build that unbreakable mindset for you. It's on you. You have to callous your mind, seek out pain and hardship until nothing can break you. You have to master your inner dialogue. Take control of that weak voice and turn it into your greatest weapon. You have to stay in the fight. Refuse to quit no matter how brutal it gets. You have to build an unbreakable work ethic, outwork everyone, no excuses, no shortcuts. You have to seek the uncomfortable, chase suffering, because that's where growth lives. You have to develop emotional control. Never let feelings dictate your actions. And above all, you have to earn your toughness daily, because if you don't, you start to lose it. This is not a one-time decision. This is a lifetime commitment. Most people will never do this. They will stay soft. They will settle. They will live and die in the comfort zone, wondering why they never became who they were meant to be.